David Walliams, The Ice Monster, Chapter 7. Elsie stayed as quiet, as still and quiet as she possibly could in the cleaning cupboard. Through the door she could hear the grown-ups arguing. "Who are you talking to, Dotty?" boomed a voice. "Just me, mops and brushes, Mr. Clark, sir," replied Dotty. "A likely story," the man scoffed. "As the museum's head of security, I order you to open that door." "I can't." "What do you mean you can't?" "My hands have gone all floppy." "What do you mean your hands have gone all floppy?" "It's from too much mopping." "Well, I'll open it then." "I wouldn't if I was you." "Why?" "I just blew off in there." "You did what?" "I did a bottom burp in the cupboard so all the stuffed animals wouldn't have to smell it. It was a really stinky one. It would have peeled the paint off the walls." "That doesn't explain why you were talking," said the security guard. "I was talking to my own bottom." "You was talking to your own bottom, giving it a jolly good telling off, Mr. Clark, sir." Elsie had to put her hand over her mouth to stop herself from laughing. This lady really was Dotty. "I have never heard so much nonsense in all my life," thundered Clark. "Now step aside, woman, or I'll be forced to use force." The girl heard a slight scuffle. "Get off me!" As fast as she could, Elsie nestled herself in behind the mops and brushes. The door swung open. Clark peered inside the dark and dingy cleaning cupboard. His hulking frame all but filled up the doorway. He had huge hobnailed boots on his feet, so polished you could eat your dinner off them. The man covered his nose. "It don't half reek in here." That was Elsie's pong. "Tell it to my bottom," replied Dotty. Just then something caught the man's eye among the mops and brushes. "What's this?" he said, pointing at the girl's hair poking out. "That?" asked Dotty innocently. "Yes, that." "Oh, that's just one of my new real hair mops." "Real hair mops?" asked Clark. "Yes, it's great for those areas me everyday mops can't reach, like between the dinosaurs' toe bones." "I don't think I can bear that stink a moment longer," said the man with his eyes watering. "I did warn you, Mr. Clark, sir. Me blow offs are really something." "They should have their own museum," mused Clark. "The Unnatural History Museum." "Very good, sir," she said as she slammed the door shut. "It's always good talking to you, but if you excuse me, I need to do the dodo eggs a good spit and polish." "Dotty, yes, you need to get something for that bottom of yours. I'll invest in a cork. Then we'll all have to wear tin helmets in case you pop." "That's a good point, Mr. Clark. I'll try and think of something." "Get to work." Dotty picked up her mop and began cleaning the floor. On purpose she ran the dirty mop over his highly polished boots. "My boots!" he cried. "Oops, sorry. Stupid old hag. Less of the old, please, Mr. Clark. I need to get these boots sparkling for the visitors." "Yes, that's why they all come to the Natural History Museum," Mr. Clark said. "They don't come to see the dinosaur bones. They just want to see their own face reflected in your boots. You better buff them up good and proper." Clark gave the cleaning lady a filthy look before marching off down the corridor to make someone else's life a misery. After a few moments, Dotty opened the cupboard door. "Phew," said Elsie. "That was close. If I know Clark, he'll be back." "I better get out of here," said Elsie. "Are you sure you'll be all right?" "Don't worry, I'll find somewhere else to hide tonight." And the pair shared a smile before the girl shuffled off down the long corridor. "Take care, little one," called out the cleaner lady after her, "and please come back and see me very soon." "I will," replied Elsie, and she did. Every morning Elsie checked the newspapers for more news of the ice monster. Weeks passed until one day she heard the cloth cake sellers shouting from their stands, "Ice monster to sail down the Thames! Ice monster expected in London today! An ice monster to be kept in frozen ice in museum!" The girl's heart pounded with excitement. Up in the Arctic, the mammoth and huge slab of ice in which it had been found had been packed into a wooden crate full of snow and loaded onto a whaling ship. It was then transported thousands of miles from the Arctic all the way down to the mouth of the Thames, from where it travelled up the river towards London and its ultimate destination, the Natural History Museum. The whaling ship was escorted along the Thames by a formation of gleaming U-boats of the British naval fleet, which broke up the ice to allow its safe passage. The ice monster was being given a huge welcome as if it were visiting like a king or queen. Thousands of Londoners linked the banks all along the river to catch a glimpse of the creature and to be part of this momentous occasion. Being little, Elsie was able to crawl under the grown-up's legs to scramble right to the front. There she could see the whaling ship and huge coffin-like crate into which the animal was packed. When the ships had passed, Elsie raced across London towards the museum. Living on the streets, the girl knew every nook and cranny of the city. She dashed along the back streets, across gardens, down tunnels, over rooftops, and even jumped onto the back of horse-drawn cabs to get there before the monster. A line of policemen with linked arms formed a wall round the museum as Londoners surged forward to see the wooden box trundle by on a carriage pulled by 50 mighty horses. But one lone voice was shouting something different. It was an old man with a long beard, wearing a big sandwich board over his shoulders. The words, "The end is nigh," were emblazoned across it. He held aloft a copy of the Bible and cried, "This is the devil's work. The prophecy has come true. The beast has come, the end is nigh." Elsie tugged on his coat. "It's not a beast, sir, it's a woolly mammoth." The old man gave her a whack on the head with his Bible. "Wicked child." Elsie pushed past him, helping herself to a lump of mouldy cheese from his pocket as she did so. The girl had just reached the gates of the museum when she was shoved back by a policeman. "Get back, you revolting urchin," he bawled, and she shunted her aside. She cried as she tumbled onto her back. "We don't want your sort here, now clear off." As the lowest of the low, Elsie was used to being turned away, but being strong in spirit, she was not going to take no for an answer. So she scrambled her way up the back of a gentleman's coat and trod on his top hat. Before he had any chance to cry out, she leaped off his top hat and onto a branch of a nearby tree. With her monkey feet, Elsie shimmied up the tree with ease and stood on the highest branch. From there she watched as 100 men rolled the crate off the back of the carriage. With thick ropes they heaved up the stones. The huge wooden front doors of the museum had been taken off their hinges. The crowd fell silent as the men began pushing the crate through the doorway. Would it fit in without taking the Natural History Museum with it? A cheer went up as the crate just squeezed through. Soon mutterings passed around the crowd that a very important visitor would be coming to the museum today to witness the unveiling. "She's coming here." "Who? She ain't been seen in ages. She's so old now." Sure enough, barely an hour had passed before the streets echoed with the sounds of trumpets. All heads turned to see a golden carriage trundling along the road. Ahead of the carriage was soldiers on horseback blew trumpets to herald the arrival of a very important person seated in it, Queen Victoria.